Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us for day 6 of our exploration. So far this week we've delved in a lot to the different essential oils that you can use as tools to kind of work through emotions and help kind of improve your life. Today we're actually going to be doing something different. We're going to be looking into the sourcing of those oils. So if you're like me, you don't only care about the products that you're using and how they affect your body, but you're also curious about where those products come from and how that affects the world. I like to look into where things are sourced from, how it's affecting the environment where they're sourced, how it's affecting the people who provide those products, as well as the aftermath of how those products affect the world. So one of the major things that I love about doTERRA is that they're very conscientious of this. Every single time that they're looking into sourcing a new oil, what they do is look into several different factors. First of all, they look into the climate of the area where they're going to be sourcing those raw goods. So is this environment somewhere where this can naturally grow? How is it going to affect the landscape? And also, is there enough resources in that area in order to grow this plant or tree or whatever product these oils come from? This is important not only to make sure that these are grown sustainably, but it's also really important because of the fact that if you're growing lavender in a location that has the perfect temperature and the perfect soil to grow in, then you're going to get a more pure product from that oil. The other thing that they look into is how they can help the community of where they're going to be sourcing their products from. Are these people in poverty, and do they need lifting up? Do they need health? Do they need dental? Do they need schools built? And doTERRA has created a co-impact sourcing initiative in which they try and make sure that not only are they helping the people that are in that community, but they also are making sure that the plants and all of the products are sourced sustainably. So what we're going to do today is take a look into 3 different locations / oils and kind of see how doTERRA has helped those communities and how they view sourcing and making sure that the sourcing is done properly. First, we'll travel to Brazil. Brazil is where we resource our oil for copaíba. It's deep inside the Amazon forest that the copaíba trees grow. And it's a unique window from January until June where the Amazon is flooded that the harvesters can reach the copaíba trees. The families work together to sustainably collect the oleoresin from these trees. These harvesters have generations of knowledge of how to look at the tree canopy and see how the different branches grow out to find the exact right point to tap the tree in order to extract the resin. This is something that's been going on for generations, and these harvesters take great pride in their knowledge that they have of the copaíba trees, and they also have like a stewardship towards the trees, making sure that the way that they're harvesting is sustainable for the trees because this is their livelihood as well, and they care about making sure that the trees continue to produce so that they'll continue to have income for generations to come. doTERRA has decided to partner up with these harvesters because not only because of their know-how, but also because of the fact that they are in need of additional help with things like health care and just making sure that they have a better income. Next, we're going to talk about frankincense. Frankincense is harvested from the boswellia tree. It's the resin from the boswellia tree that we distill in order to get the frankincense oil. Frankincense has been one of the oils sought after for thousands of years. Unfortunately, where the boswellia tree grows are generally some of the poorest economies in the world. Because of this, it leads to a lot of exploitation of the harvesters and farmers. Much of the time they're pushed to overharvest and overproduce in order to make enough income to support their families. By doing this, they're not only hurting the well-being of themselves by being overworked, but they're also hurting the trees by overharvesting, cutting too deep, and creating lasting impact on all of them. In response to this, doTERRA has pursued a different path. They are trying to make it so that the harvesting of frankincense is sustainable, so that we can continue to utilize this oil for years to come. They do this by working with the harvesters and the growers to understand the best harvesting practices. They also ensure that the harvesters and growers get a fair income so they don't feel the need to push themselves harder to continue to harvest more and more resin from these trees that can't keep up. They've also developed a system to monitor the supply network to ensure that where these oils and the resin that are coming from are being sustainably harvested and that the people are being paid fairly. In addition to helping communities with their harvesting practices, doTERRA has also made sure to continue the cultivation of new frankincense trees. That way they can continue to have this oil and resin in abundance. The other thing that doTERRA, additionally, through the Healing Hands Network, doTERRA has worked directly with communities to try and uplift them from anywhere from healthcare to people who need additional food, to schools, to housing. If you want to learn more about the Healing Hands Network, please feel free to click the link below. Next we'll travel to Bulgaria. This is where we get our harvest for both lavender and melissa. Bulgaria used to be one of the epicenters of the aromatic industry. They were leaders in both research, cultivation, as well as propagation, as distillation of oils. However, as time went on, their crops ended up switching to sunflowers, corn, and wheat. These are the ones that the government would subsidize. And as a result, the smaller farmers that worked in the aromatic industry kind of fell to the wayside. They no longer were able to have their booming industry. Much of their land was bought up by large-scale agribusiness. This left many of the growers and distillers behind. However, the country still remains an agricultural haven for aromatics, as well as having people with know-how. In particular, near the Black Sea, the climate there is perfect for both melissa and lavender. With the drier air, it makes it so that these plants thrive. This is why doTERRA chose eastern Bulgaria to make one of its world-class production centers for some of its most valued oils. In 2015, Astera Bulgaria partnered with doTERRA. With the help of doTERRA's co-impact sourcing, it is ensured that the essential oil industry in Bulgaria will thrive for years to come. One of the things that doTERRA has worked with the Bulgarians on is making sure that this distillery can operate year-round. So while during the months where lavender and melissa are harvested, they have a lot of work to do and much to distill, during the off months, they are also distilling yarrow. They also get seeds such as coriander and fennel to distill, as well as frankincense and myrrh. All of this is providing a great economy for the Bulgarians through the revitalization of essential oils. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope some of this information was useful and interesting. If you want to check out more information on doTERRA's Healing Hands or their co-impact sourcing with different countries, feel free to click on the links below. Otherwise, enjoy your oils, and we look forward to seeing you at the wrap-up tomorrow.
You want to come on camera with me? I think they'd like you. Come on.